Pushing for a realistic bilingualism policy, that is the topic of tonight's byline. Did you know that our national parks are insufficiently bilingual? Now, I'm not sure how I missed this story, but thanks to Gord for sending it in. On September 6th, about a month after we told you about the Office of the Commissioner of Official Languages sending spies to Canada's airports, he released a report on Parks Canada. And Parks Canada is a pretty big organization. They administer 214 sites, marine conservation areas, national historic sites, and yes, national parks. Now, they must be pretty busy because they've got 21 million visitors each year. Now, out of that staggering number of visitors, those 21 million individual visitors, Parks Canada gets 4 to 8 complaints per year on issues related to official languages. Yes, between 4 and 8 complaints out of a total of 21 million visitors. You know, if I was grading them, I'd give them a gold star, send them up to the front of the class so we could all celebrate their achievement. Hey, attaboy, that's a good job. But not in the eyes of Graham Fraser, the Commissioner of Official Languages. Fraser's team audited Parks Canada, and while he applauded that, well, the staff greeted everyone with the phrase, hello, bonjour, which is the government's way of saying, speak English or French, whatever you want, we gotcha. Well, Fraser said that, things weren't good enough. Here's his quote. The audit results were not as positive when it comes to the ability of staff to provide information to the public in both official languages. In many parks, there were too few bilingual employees to guarantee that visitors will have access to service in the language of their choice. So it's not that the parks don't have bilingual employees, it's that they don't have enough. A visitor to a park may have to wait for a moment while an uneducated fool that only speaks one language toddles off to get help. Remember that. It's not that they don't have bilingual staff or they can't help you, it's that there's not enough, which is why out of 21 million visitors, they generated somewhere between 4 and 8 complaints each year. This is not a view of bilingual service based in reality or reason. Saying that Parks Canada is not doing a good job is the result of living in a make-believe world. It's as ridiculous as the government going to St. John's, Newfoundland to promote bilingual services to the 0.2% of the population who have French as their first language. And yes, thanks to all of you who corrected me, 0.2% is 1/5 of a percentage point, not a 20th. I made a mistake last night. Happy to correct it here. Now, still, does it make sense to push for greater French language services in St. John's? I'd say no. Does it make sense to push for greater English language services in Quebec City? I'd say no. We have bilingual areas and we should concentrate on that. And we have some services that should be in both languages and we should make sure that they're of a high quality. But chasing a problem at Parks Canada when it doesn't really exist, that's madness. So what do? Do you yell at your TV? No. Maybe you do, but it's not going to help. Do you send off an angry email screaming about the French to Heritage Minister James Moore? I hope not. What you need to do is arm yourself with the facts. On liliespad.ca, I've set up a few links for you and lots of facts. Arm yourself with the facts before sending off an angry note. And please, don't actually send off any angry notes. I have to tell you, I was bothered by some of the hatred I saw last night into the reaction to the bilingual consultation story I did. Yes, I saw the usual hatred aimed at me saying, I obviously hate the French because I don't like bilingualism. Now, it doesn't make sense in Regina or St. John, so why push that? That doesn't make me someone that hates French Canadians. But I actually did see hatred aimed at French Canadians. Look, I understand you might be frustrated at what you've seen for the past few decades, but spewing hatred will not win the argument. Arm yourself with the facts. Write calmly. Have you taken the online consultation that I told you about yet? The feds are asking you for your input. Give it to them in a calm, fact-filled, and reasoned way. You might think this won't change anything because you've been doing this for the last 30 years. Maybe you're right, but then again, maybe you're wrong. Remember, it was Stephen Harper writing in the Calgary Sun in 2001, just a year before taking office, making his political comeback. He wrote this: as a religion, bilingualism is the god that failed. It has led to no fairness, produced no unity, and cost Canadian taxpayers untold millions. That statement is as true today as it was in 2001. With that man in power, things might change. But the change won't come. They won't listen to you if you're just spewing hatred. So go to Lily's Pad, get the facts, participate in the online questionnaire, and help change this country.